Hi guys, welcome back to our channel, Sort of My Girls. It's Leanne this week, and this week I want to talk about is it okay as a Christian to have sexual urges? Is it okay as a single Christian? So is it okay as a single Christian to have sexual urges and sexual desires? Or is it okay as a Christian to burn with passion? So I want to start by saying that having sexual desires as a human being is completely normal. It's completely normal and natural. God created us in His image, and He created us to have these feelings and these desires, and to want to be sexually intimate and want to be in a relationship and want to be close to someone. Completely good and holy to have sexual feelings and sexual desires. I think that a lot of the time in situations such as this, we tend to have a lot of self-hate and a lot of shame and a lot of accusation kind of with this kind of topic, oh, as a Christian I shouldn't be feeling like this. As a single Christian I shouldn't be feeling like this because it's not holy, or I can't talk to anyone about it because it's not holy, or it's not that I shouldn't be focused on that. Which is true, you shouldn't be focused on it, but it's completely normal, and God created you the way you are. God created you in His image, and He created us to have these sexual feelings and sexual desires. As Christians though, we know that these sexual desires and stuff are supposed to be explored only within the context and confinement of marriage, and that's what pleases God. These sexual feelings kind of urge us to get married and to be able to be one with someone in marriage. That is something that God ordained from the beginning of time, when He said that it's not good for a man to be alone, and made Eve for Adam. So in 1 Corinthians 7 verse 9, Paul says, "For it is better to marry than to burn with passion. For it is better to marry than to burn with passion." So this tells us that it is completely normal and it's possible for someone who is single to burn with passion before marriage. So it happens, and Paul is advising that it's better to marry than to burn with passion and sexual urge and sexual desire. So I think after this, the question that comes up is, how, as a Christian single person, should we deal with these feelings and urges appropriately? So I think that knowing that these sexual feelings are not shameful or embarrassing or unholy, but they're completely normal, but for a specific season and in due season. The Bible talks about there being a season for everything under the sun: a season to be born, a time to die, a time to harvest, a time to sow, a time to be married, a time to be single, a time to be sexually intimate, and a time to devote yourself to self-control and serving the Lord. So realizing that there's a time for everything, and now it's not the time as a single person to be dwelling on these feelings and dwelling on these urges and emotions and things. As a single person, dwelling on these feelings and urges and emotions and desires can lead to temptation. And when I say that, as in focusing and watching, let's say for example, what you watch and what you listen to is really important in the season. Guarding your heart is really important in the season. Not to if you know that you're feeling this way, you're going through a season of feeling sexually you want someone, or you want to be in a relationship and stuff, watching The Bachelor every Monday at 8 p.m. on ABC should not happen. Watching certain TV shows is not the best for you, romantic shows or romantic movies, or sexual music or sexy music. It's not the best idea. So guarding your heart is really important. What you you give power to what you focus on. You give power to what you give power to. You give power to what you dwell on. The Bible also tells us that we should take every thought captive and make it subject to Jesus Christ. And I think that just as a human being in general and as a Christian, your emotions don't always line up with God and don't always line up with the will of God. Some days you might feel completely angry for no reason. That's not godly. So you don't always have to follow your emotions and follow your feelings and your urges. So I think that talking to your emotions and talking to your feelings is the best way, because the Bible literally says, take captive every thought and make it subject to Jesus Christ. And that's what I feel would work in the situation. Like, literally say to your emotions, like, not today emotions, I'm not about that today, no, sometime in the future maybe, but I'm about to focus on God here. And talk to your emotions. Going further in 1 Corinthians 7 verses 29 to be exact, Paul talks about how the time is short, and in the previous video we actually talked about it. We did a talk on marriage, and we talked about 1 Corinthians 7 verse 29, but I'm just going to talk about it again, about how Paul talks about the time being short and that we should live in undivided devotion towards God. As a single person, like, you have all the time to do that. You have so much time to pursue all the dreams that God has placed in your heart. You have so much time to know who you are and understand yourself, understand God. There's always more God to discover, and there's so much to do. So to really embrace that in your single period, and just not focus on and give power to sexual desires when you know it's not the right time or the right season for that. So that's my take on it. I probably haven't said everything that I wanted to say, but yeah, if you have any contributions, anything else to add, please do so. I really would be so interested to hear what you have to say. So I just wanted to talk about this because I don't see it talked about enough, just in the Christian community and in general, and I think it's really helpful to people, so why don't we talk about it? But so love you guys so much, and thank you for watching this week. Next week probably Princess will be uploading a video, or probably me, I'm not sure yet, we'll see. Okay, bye.